So, how to be cool and frugal with your new car choice. We talked to the folks at Kelley Blue Book on the 2015 list of the 10 coolest new cars under $18,000.
Norma got a first look at a few of this year's featured cars and why they made this list.
Okay, $18,000. Why that price point? Why did you choose that price point and then try to find the coolest cars under that price point?
Well, $18,000 is not a lot of money. In fact, every year we do this list, we think, well, maybe we should bump it up to 20. But the answer is that there are enough cool cars under $18,000 that we can put together a list. One of these days, that might not be the case, but not this year. We've got 10 very cool cars available under $18,000, 3 of which are behind me. In fact, maybe I'll mosey over here to this green car, which you may have seen out on the roads. This is the Kia Soul, and the Kia Soul returns to our list this year, not just because it's aesthetically distinct. In fact, there's nothing else that looks like a Kia Soul, but it's also a very cool car to own. And when we say cool car to own, I mean that you can get one as cheap as $15,000 according to Kelley Blue Book's fair purchase price, which is based on actual transaction prices. And at that $15,000 price point, you're getting a car that's not stripped down. It comes with air conditioning, Bluetooth phone connectivity, cruise control, 16-inch alloy wheels. It's a pretty well-equipped car, even in base form. It's also a nice driving car. High seating position gives you a good view of the road ahead, and also pretty good cargo capacity too. 24.2 cubic feet of cargo space in the back there. So a very cool car in the Kia Soul.
So when you think of these cars, I mean, I tend to think of them as being sort of small cars that, you know, may, like you said, maybe kind of stripped down small cars. Not the case, though. You found a range of vehicles, you know, under that price point that are not small cars, right? I mean, they're not large, but they're not tiny.
Yeah, you know, it's not like you're getting into a micro car or a BMW Isetta or like a Geo Metro or something like that with these cars. In fact, most of them are pretty reasonably sized. That has to do a lot with, you know, intelligent packaging. The Kia Soul is a great example of a car that doesn't have a huge footprint, but it's built up, so it feels very roomy. Another way, you know, that these cars are separated from what you think of as the typical Econo box is in driving dynamics. In fact, the Mazda 3 is a brilliant example of that. This is not only the most fun car to drive under $18,000 in our estimation at Kelley Blue Book, but I would put this up against much more expensive cars. It is just that fun to drive. When we talk about cool, not only cool to own, but cool to drive. And so a lot of fun to drive, great handling, really good feedback through that steering wheel, and also it just looks cool. You know, brilliant design, you know, aesthetically pleasing. And I also think it's super cool to not blow your entire budget on gasoline, up to 41 miles per gallon on the freeway with the Mazda 3, maximum fuel economy. Yeah, very efficient. But, you know, when we're talking about cool, you can't underestimate the importance of newness. And in terms of newness, this is the newest. This is the Jeep Renegade. The Jeep Renegade, brand new car for the Jeep lineup for 2015, and it's adorable. My wife thinks it's super adorable. I think it looks kind of rugged. There it is going up a hill there, and it's one of those rare cars that both she and I agree on. But beyond aesthetics, a pretty practical interior design. It's a subcompact SUV, which is a greatly expanding market in the automotive space. But you know, at $18,000, it just barely skirts under our $18,000 cutoff. But at that price point, it includes 8 airbags, including dual front knee airbags, one for the driver and one for the front passenger. So a lot of safety and a very practical little car in an adorable or super rugged package, depending on, you know, how you look at it.
You know, I'm looking at it, and it does have a more rounded features, has more rounded features, but I wouldn't say it's cute. It definitely looks like it could, you know, handle its own in some snow.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I'll say that if you're willing to spend an extra $2,000 for the four-wheel drive system, that this thing is pretty darn capable off-road. I can personally attest to that fact.
Well, that's why we ask your advice, because you know firsthand what these cars are able to do. For people who perhaps are looking at these cars, they want to look at the complete list, where can they go? Because I see a lot of names on here, Subaru Impreza, Chevy Sonic, Honda Fit, Ford Fiesta, Honda, and then, of course, the others you just mentioned there. Where can they go for more information?
Yeah, we've got a whole We got a big old list, all sorts of great information. If you head over to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com, you can learn more about these vehicles or the other 10 on our list, and it's just a really great resource to get your head around what's in the market and what are the cool cars you can afford.
I love that. Affordable doesn't mean boring, that's for sure. Hey, thanks so much, Micah. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
During our interview, I want to mention just a quick update.